Hello everyone, Justin here, and today we're going to take our line drawing of these tulips and do a little pencil shading for practice. So let's go ahead and start shading this in, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my harder lead pencil. This is a 2B, and just start shading, and I'm going to leave the upper left sections lighter. In fact, I'm going to use the color of the paper, which is off-white, as our highlight areas, and plan on darkening the areas that are on the lower right away from our light source, just to give this a more three-dimensional quality. Here I'm quickly filling in the areas with some pencil lines. I'm not too worried about the direction. I'm not going to try for perfect gradients. This is kind of a rough sketch. So here I'm starting to use a little bit more pressure on the lower right, and I'll be making that part a little bit darker. Okay, so let's go to this petal, keeping the upper left just a little bit lighter, and then this part here will be pretty dark. So I'll just go ahead and start darkening that, but like I said, I'll use a softer lead pencil for that area. So this upper section is going to catch a little bit more light, so I'm lightening up on the pressure here and leaving more of the white of the paper to show. Switch over to our dark 4B lead pencil and add some shadow here. So I'm going to add a little bit of a cast shadow here from this petal, casting a shadow onto this petal, and make these lower sections a little bit darker. So I'm going to keep this whole area somewhat darker, not just the edge, just so it doesn't look like it's too much of a ball. There is some roundness, of course, to it, but you don't want to make it like an even gradient where it looks too much like a ball. Alright, so continuing on, just darkening this section, and then right here at the most bottom part of this petal, again this part's going to be kind of light. And let's go on to, since I have my softer lead, I'm going to go ahead and draw in the cast shadow underneath this tulip and start drawing in, darkening the right side of this stem. So notice that for this stem I'm starting with the darks first. You can go either way. You can start with the lights first and then add the darks. Here I'm just going ahead with the darks first since I had the pencil. Like this part's going to be pretty dark. Start shading that in, pretty dark, and switch over to my 2B lead and continue the gradient from the dark to the light as I show here, and lightening up on the pressure as I go to the left side of the stem. So this leaf itself, I'm going to go ahead and just darken the whole thing, and I'll try to use strokes that are just in line with the axis of the leaf, which is like this. Trying to keep it as even as I can. You can smooth things out if you prefer, using your finger or a blending stump, and I may still do that. And here I'm just going to use this pencil only, and I'll just use a little bit more pressure here and go over this section a little bit more, and especially toward the edge, just to give it a little bit more volume, this leaf, and maybe the lower left side here, a little bit more pressure. Okay, and we'll do the same thing with this leaf. So I'm going to make this part a little bit darker, just because it's underneath this tulip, and maybe lighten it up a little bit. So when you're using 2B lead, HB lead, there's a limit to how dark you can make it, even if you push really hard. And so you almost have to, if you really want it darker, to get more of a contrast, you almost have to use another pencil with a softer lead. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and darken this one just a little bit, so it's in the front. So just to separate this leaf from this back leaf, I'm gonna go ahead and make the back leaf a little bit darker, just so there's a little bit more contrast, and make this part darker because it's farther back, especially next to this leaf right here. I want a little bit of a separation between this stem and this leaf, so I'll leave a little bit of a color change there. You don't have to do that. It all depends on the aesthetics you're looking for. And maybe make the right edge a little bit darker. And continuing on back here, just gonna go ahead and make this part of this leaf pretty dark because it's now behind everything. Okay, and that's pretty much it for that tulip. I'll just go ahead and do the same, and I can just fast forward this. Alright guys, so I'm almost done here. So experiment, try to draw a lot, and the more you draw, the easier it gets. You can always check out that other video on how we got to this point as far as doing the line drawing using a Sharpie, and you can use either a Sharpie or a pencil and then continue the shading as I did here. You could also, of course, use colored pencils to shade this in. So instead of using a regular pencil, you could use green colored pencils here, using different shades of colored pencil to get that gradient that you're looking for, to give it that three-dimensional quality and get that form to pop out. Okay, and color the tulips, of course, whatever color you'd like. So that's all I have for today. Thanks a lot for watching, and please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Have a great day.